In the midst of crisis, people always start looking for hope because they feel like things are hopeless. But what is hope? And why do we often get the idea completely wrong? Hi, I'm Drew, and this is Faith 15. There's a lot of talk about hope right about now, which makes sense. Things in our world feel a bit out of control. What can we do about it? And that question, what can we do, is a really good question, as long as we can think of an answer. When we can't, though, well, our anxiety has nowhere to go. We think of hope as the potential to do something. It's a way of saying, is it possible to get out of this jam? If the answer is yes, then we say, there's still hope. If not, then it is hopeless. If hope is dependent on answering yes to the previous question, then we can give someone hope just by saying yes. We can transform hope from an objective notion to a subjective one. In this sense, hope becomes something that can be manipulated. So a person can give you hope simply by promising a way out. This has played out quite a bit in the news lately. The president has offered us subjective hope by saying an untested drug may prove effective in fighting COVID-19. This isn't that bigger sense of hope, but a subjective one offered to make us feel better. On the other hand, many people are concerned that offering subjective hope prematurely will itself have negative consequences if the hope is misplaced. They argue that he is offering us false hope. This is why I'm calling this hope subjective, because rather than speak about the objective reality of hope, we are now speaking of true hope and false hope. Hope that is based on probability and potential, that's true hope. Hope that is based on unfounded suspicion is false hope. Now, this all makes the very idea of hope seem manipulative and psychologically destructive. It also takes us away from the things we crave, the things we seek. We're not looking for the easy answer. We're looking for truth. In 2019, Krista Tippett interviewed Ta-Nehisi Coates for her show On Being. And when she asks about where his hope is, Coates bristles. It's not a word he uses as a journalist, historian, or poet. Poets are not asked to be hopeful, he says. So now we have a vision of hope that is only about feeling better, and then another as providing answers. And yet neither of these truly speaks to the sense of hope we find in the Christian tradition. Most of the time, hope is paired with trust. And for good reason. Our hope is in the one we trust. Of course, it would be tempting to misunderstand that correlation. We can make hope subjective yet again just by rolling some dice and trusting it all will work out. Slap the hope label on that and walk away. The thing about all these ways of talking about hope is that they are predicated on distrust. That someone is just trying to make us feel better, or they just report the news, or they just blindly believe. Christian hope is not based in unfounded promise. It's about trust in God because God has a track record of love. and because God trusts us to make it work. So no, it isn't about feeling good or giving simple answers to hard questions. And Ta-Nehisi Coates is wrong about hope and poets. And skeptics are wrong about the place of trust. Because we are not blind to the truth. It is because of the truth that we can have hope. Hope gets us out of bed in the morning, not because we have to, but because we get to. Therefore, we can be people of hope precisely because we know that God is not going to fix it for us, that it isn't what God promised or what history reveals about God. We are people of hope because we are each other's hope. Because you and me are in this together, I see hope. In the truest sense, hope is not something offered or given. It is something made and discovered, something that connects us more fully and honestly. It isn't just the promise or the answer. It is also the proof that the promise is worth fulfilling. We'll see you next time.